Hello dear viewers, a very warm welcome to our channel. It's very good to have you here. In this video, we are going to have a look at a diesel injection pump feed pump. This is a feed pump for an inline injection pump. With these three holes, it will be going to be installed on the side of the injection pump, and the roller that is going to activate the feed pump is going to be driven by the injection pump camshaft. There is an eccentric on the injection pump camshaft, and there is a set of rollers that is going to be operated in order to activate the feed pump. Now when you look at the different components of the feed pump, this right here is the body of the feed pump, and right here we have fuel connections. There is an inlet connection and outlet connection. Inlet will be on this side. We have an inlet connection. Right here we have a fuel priming pump. The priming pump is there to remove air. It will manually pump. You can manually pump this in order to suck fuel from the fuel tank and supply it to the injection pump, and in order to manually remove any trapped air, this will use as a priming pump. Now on the priming pump side, we have the inlet, so the priming pump can be removed in such a fashion. You can remove it. See, when it is removed, you have a spring and a valve. This is the inlet valve for this particular feed pump. We have right here the inlet valve and the spring, and on this side we have the outlet. The outlet valve is there. This is a connection. This bolt, it has a drilling from here. Fuel will come in this way from the outlet, then it will go out and pass through this banjo connection, and you can supply this to the injection pump. And if you watch right there is the outlet valve. If you can remove this, you can find the outlet valve. Here we have the outlet valve and the spring. And right here we have the piston. If you remove this, if you open this, there is a spring-loaded piston. The feed pump piston is right in here. See? Right here we have a spring, and this is a piston. This is a piston that is going to reciprocate. When it is pushed by this push rod is to be activated by the camshaft. It will be pushed, and then it will get returned by the return spring. So it will be activated in such a fashion. It will move up and down in such a fashion. This reciprocating motion will generate vacuum and pressure inside the feed pump housing. Now when we look at the feed pump internal construction, there are different passages. See, there is a passage that is going to the inlet side, and there is a passage that is going to the outlet side. In order to have a clear view, let's have a look at a cutout view of this. This right here is a cutout assembly showing the different orientation. Now this can help us understand how it is constructed. This right here is a cavity where the piston is going to be installed. Let's place the piston right in here. This is where the piston is going to move up and down. So the piston is moving up and down in this chamber. When the piston is moving up and down in this chamber, when the piston is moving back, it will generate suction. When piston is moving in this direction, it is generating pressure. Now the main question is how that is acting on the valves. Look, right here we have a valve that is placed in such a fashion. There is a valve that is placed in such a fashion. As you can see, whatever is happening in this chamber is acting on the back side of this valve. If you watch closely, it is acting on the back side of that valve. Let me put some light on. If you watch closely, it is acting on the back side of this valve. And whatever is happening in here, on this side, it is acting on the front side of this valve. If I place this valve right in here, we have a spring. Whatever is happening in this chamber is acting on the front side of this valve. This is very critical. For example, if pressure is built up in here, pressure is acting on the front side, lifting this valve up and going out. If vacuum is acting in this chamber, if the piston is moving back and vacuum is generated in here, that vacuum is acting on the front of the valve and pulling it to the closed position. What about this? If pressure is generated, pressure is acting on the back of the valve together with the spring, closing it is shut. If vacuum is generated in here, however, it will be acting on the back of the piston, on the back of the valve, lifting it up. So this is how the valves are configured. So when the piston is moving backwards, when it is being pushed by the spring and moving backward, we will have suction in here. That suction will suck fuel from here. It will open the valve, get admitted to this chamber. And when the piston is being pushed by the push rod, that will generate pressure when piston is moving out. When piston is moving in this direction, that pressure increase will close this because it is acting on the backside together with this spring. It will close it, but it will open this passage and exit going to the injection pump. So this is how the valve operates. So the principle of operation is very simple. When piston is moving back, it is sucking. When piston is moving into the cavity, when piston is moving back in here, it is causing suction. When piston is moving up, it is causing pressure. So there are basically three phases of operation. One is suction. Suction is when piston is moving back by the force of the spring. Piston is moved back by the force of the spring. Then intake valve will open. Fuel will be admitted to the pressure chamber. And when piston is moving to the front, that will be discharged. Pressure will build up. Inlet valve will close. It will open the exit valve and then move out. And if you watch closely, if you watch very closely in here, the outlet is actually connected to the back of the piston. Through this, there is a drilling. One way is going out, as we have said, through this banjo connection. One fuel is going out, and fuel is also going to the back of the piston. If you see that drilling back there, fuel is also going to the back of the piston. If you watch, there is a passage that is going back. Fuel is going back of the piston. So the pressure side is connected to the back of the piston as well. Now there is a time where this line going to the injection pump will get filled up, and then the pumping is no more required, where the push of the piston is no more forcing fuel to exit. That is called the termination phase. During the termination phase, assume the fuel that is being pumped, that is already pumped and pushed out of the feed pump, is enough. There is no room for additional fuel. What will happen then? The fuel pressure is going to go to the backside, pushing the piston into this direction, preventing it from returning back. So if the spring is not capable of returning that, if the spring is not capable of returning this piston to the back, because pressure is acting on the backside as well, the outlet is connected to the backside of the piston. When the pressure in here is not reduced, the spring will not be able to return the piston fully, and the piston will remain in this position, even though the camshaft and pushrod assembly are still reciprocating, but the piston, due to the back pressure that is acting through that passage, the piston will remain pushed, and that will cause no fuel to exit the feed pump. That is called the termination phase. So there are three phases. There is a suction, there is a discharge, and there is termination. Suction is when piston is moving back, causing low pressure in here. Fuel will be sucked, get admitted in here. Discharge is when piston is moving to this direction. It will open the exit valve, and then fuel goes to the injection pump side. Termination is when this line is full, when the discharge side is full, and the piston, which has moved to this direction, is no longer pushing fuel further. So what will happen? That increased pressure will also act at the back of the piston. Acting at the back of the piston will prevent the piston from retracting. The spring will not be strong enough to retract this, and that will cause the piston to remain in this position, and fuel will not be injected because the piston is now not reciprocating. It cannot go back due to the high pressure on the backside. But as this fuel gets used up by the injection pump, pressure will gradually reduce. When pressure reduces, the spring will be able to push this back again, and then that suction and discharge will commence again. So these are the three phases that involve operation of the feed pump. So the feed pump is operating in these three phases. Feed pumps, they come in different shape and style. Look at here, for example, right here we have a feed pump. Usually this one has a filter. A partial filter is going to be installed in here. It comes in different shape and style. Even though the shape and style is different, the principle of operation is still the same. So this is how feed pumps are operating. See, there is a piston in there. One is outlet side, the other is the suction side. This is a single acting type piston. We have looked at a single acting type valve assembly. There is a double acting feed pump. Single acting feed pump is when only pumping only in one direction. It will pump when moving to this direction. It will suck when going to the back direction. There are other types of feed pumps where we have additional 2 intake valve and exit valve, where we have 4 valves, 2 exit and 2 suction valves, where piston will be pumping in both directions. When moving to the front, it will pump through 2 pairs of valves. When moving back, it will pump through the other pairs. So that is a double acting type. But when it comes to this type, only a single acting. When moving this way, it will discharge. When moving back, it will suck. This is a single acting type feed pump, but there are engines with a double acting type arrangement. So this is basically how it is operating. So the pistons, they come in different shapes and they come in different size, but the principle of operation is still the same. They all come to this cavity. It is being acted by a push rod. The push rod extends back, and there is a roller assembly that is going to ride on the injection pump camshaft. So this is how the injection pump operates. Now the assembly process is very simple. It is a reverse direction of the reverse process. You can simply install here. You can put in the piston. There is nothing that goes in here. The push rod is already there. You can see the push rod is already in there. Push rod is already in there. So install the piston. Make sure it is fully seated. Then go ahead and install the return spring. Then we are going to install this blind plug. Plug it and then torque it to the specification. You can torque it to the spec. This is how it is installed. And inlet valve we're going to install. The spring is there. Then for this particular assembly that we have a priming pump that is going to be installed. So priming pump is installed in such a fashion. Once you are done with priming, you can press it down and lock it in such a fashion. If you want to prime again, you can undo it. You can lock it. This is when it is locked. And when you want to prime it, you can open it like so. And on the outlet side, place a valve, a spring. Then we are going to install this right here. This is a spring seat. Then we have a spring washer, bronze washers. We have the banjo that is going to connect. And then we have the bolt. Very easy. Don't forget the copper washers have to be there. That will act as a washer to seal. That's it. Here we have the intake. The inlet will be connected. This is line coming from the fuel filter or line coming from the fuel tank. This is line going to the injection pump. This is it. This is how you are going to install. And this is the principle of operation of a diesel feed pump. Well, that is all we have for you regarding the construction and principle of operation of a diesel engine feed pump. If you find this video helpful and if you enjoy what has been presented, don't forget to smash the like button. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Turn on notifications so that you will be the first to get notified whenever we come up with another video. Until then, stay safe.